Comet, April 3, 1894. 3 members of the Carsons gang were killed today when they attempted to hold up the Manhattan City Bank. A posse dispatched in pursuit of the survivors ran into an ambush and suffered several casualties. Mike Chase, a U.S. Marshal, stated that the ambush was not carried out by the Carsons gang, but by a band of Confederate renegades armed with mortars and grenades. This poem was wrote by Kim Carsons after a shootout on Bleecker Street, October 23, 1920. Liverwurst Joe and Cherry-Nosed Geo, mafia hitmen with Frank the Lip as driver, opened fire on Kim Carsons, Boy Jones, Mars Cleaver, known as Marbles, and Guy Graywood, described as an attorney. In the ensuing exchange of shots, Liverwurst Joe, Cherry-Nosed Geo, and Frank the Lip was all kilted. Only damage sustained by the Carsons group was to Boy's vest when he took refuge behind a fire hydrant. "My vest is ruinted," he moaned, "and it was dog shit done it. There should be a law." Owing to certain offensive passages written in the French language, the poem could not be quoted, but an enterprising assistant editor had copies made with translations of the offensive passages and sold them to collectors and curiosity seekers for $5 a copy. Stranger who was passing.
Un grand principe de violence dictate à nos mœurs.
A great principle of violence dictated our fashions. Surely a song for men like a great wind, shaking an iron tree, dead leaves in the winter pissoir. J'aime ces types vicieux qui s'y montrent la bite. I like the vicious types who show the cock here. Simon, aimes-tu les bruits de pas
Sur les feuilles mortes?
Simon, do you like the sound of steps on dead leaves? The smell of war and death? Powder smoke back across the mouth blown, powder smoke and brown hair. Death comes with the speed of 1,000,000 winds. The sheltering sky is thin as paper here. That afternoon when I watched the torn sky bend with the wind, I can see it start to tilt and shred and tatter, caught in New York, beneath the animals of the village. The piper pulled down the sky. Let it come down. Appointment at the cemetery, Boulder, Colorado, September 17th, 1899. Mike swung onto the path at the northeast corner, wary and watchful. He was carrying a Webley Fosbury .45 semi-automatic revolver, the action adjusted with rubber grips by an expert gunsmith to absorb recoil and prevent slipping. His backup men were about 10 yards away, a little behind him across the street. Kim stepped out of the cemetery onto the path. "Hello, Mike." His voice carried clear and cool on the wind, sugary and knowing and evil. Kim always maneuvered to approach downwind. He was wearing a russet tweed jacket with change pockets, canvas puttees, jodhpurs in deep red. At sight of him, Mike experienced an uneasy déjà vu and glanced sideways for his backup. One glance was enough. They were all wearing jackets the color of autumn leaves, and puttees. They had opened a wicker shoulder basket. They were eating sandwiches and filling tin cups with cold beer, their rifles propped against a tree, remote and timeless as a painting. Déjeuner des chasseurs. Mike sees he has been set up. He will have to shoot it out. He feels a flash of resentment and outrage. God damn it, it's not fair. Why should his life be put in jeopardy by this horrible little Nance? Mike had a well-disciplined mind. He put these protests aside and took a deep breath, drawing in power. Kim is about 15 yards south, walking slowly toward him. Fresh southerly winds rustle the leaves ahead of him as he walks on a whispering south wind. Leaves crackle under his boots. Michael, aimes-tu les bruits de pas sur les feuilles mortes? 12 yards, 10. Kim walks with his hands swinging loose at his sides, the fingers of his right hand brushing the gun butt obscenely, his face alert, detached, unreadable.